Hello, viewers of Wasteland TV. This is Bobcat. Yeah. I'm here to talk to you about America. I know sounding board is about toys, movies, but we're in dark times. First off, we're in a pandemic, and basically people have their own conspiracy theories about it. And we're also in a borderline civil war. This isn't a revolution. This isn't like Star Wars. A little bit like it, because of all the events that are happening. We have what we call people being upset. Being upset with the police. One, because police brutality exists. But on the same point too, so does people brutality. And people brutality also includes what they do to the police. We want to have a world of equality. But the problem with the world of equality is you have to watch what you say. Yeah. And watching what you say is like censoring yourself, because sometimes emotions snowball. And a lot of the emotions are snowballing now. I could go into a lot of my conspiracy theories about what's going on in the world, what I see. And maybe I'll do that in later videos. But for now, we can't look at our entire history as black and white. That our entire people are slavers, because we are taking everything that was ever done out of context. Because if that's the case, we should be streamlining everything. Basically removing everything that offends whites, Asians, Hispanics, as well as the blacks. Everyone's going to say something offensive. But when you take something offensive out of time, and they have no rights to defend themselves, that's wrong. Because how can we judge, let's say, 1950s thinking to 2020 thinking? We can't. They were two different sets of cultures. And this is what people are forgetting about. We're cultures. We live in a world, a free world, where multiple cultures exist. And we've got to have patience with each of these multiple cultures. If we don't, we start creating new forms of racism, which is happening now. We have all these internet growing youths who created cells on the internet about how bad America is, how bad Donald Trump is. But in the end, it's not about that. It's about they believe they can run it better. And it's about them being the young, and it's their world against the old. And they feel it should be gone. And that's wrong too, because if they stop to think about it and stop using their scare tactics, if people organize and let certain events happen, the same things could happen to them that they're doing to other people. Right now, they're getting away with it because they can hide their faces. Yeah, I said it. They can hide their faces. Where is that? And when you can hide your face, you're condemning another group of people who also hid their faces. So that make you better? No. Because that entire group of people had the same logic back in the 1900s, we'll say. You know, they were protecting their investments, their politics, their what they wanted, all in the sake of what they believed. And this is the key word, what they believed. Yeah, what they believed. What they believed is sometimes a truthism, but sometimes it's also a belief. And it's not a strong belief. But if you get enough people to believe it, they think it's going to become a truthism. And that's the hard part. What is the truthism? We have everyone with cell phones, with cameras, filming, but only cherry picking what goes with their politics, what goes with their belief systems, just to terrorize who they don't like, who they don't want to see. It goes back to being Sonic the Hedgehog. Everyone remembers that. Sonic was ugly. I kind of liked him. I thought he was kind of awesome. But the internet society did not like him. They thought he was disgusting. And so, they started a whole slew of entitlement things. All these glorified internet man-children. That you're ruining our childhood. You're doing this and that. They should have been happy that their character is getting a movie. No. They weren't. So, they started letter writing campaigns. They started all these whole internet groups about how the we'll call them 2019 Sonic is ruining their childhood. And so they said, the director said, I'm going to redo the entire Sonic model. It's going to cost Paramount, it's going to cost people money, but I'll redo it. We're going to redo it. So they had to bring in the person who designed Pikachu and the Pokemon and Pikachu the movie, Detective Pikachu. And it worked. And so now you have people burning down their country because people are not listening to them. People aren't giving them what they want, giving them the Sonic the Hedgehog, because they feel it should be given to them. Not listening to all of America, just them. It's almost sociopathic, almost narcissistic too. That they want everyone to listen to them, but they don't want to listen to anyone else unless they share the same view. And they call themselves anarchists. They're not anarchists, they're not rebels. They're technically terrorists because they're terrorizing civilians. They're terrorizing people who shouldn't be terrorized. They're taking from the people who they say they're there for, but they're not. But we'll stop here for now, and we'll talk about it in another video maybe. This is Biker Bobcat signing off, hoping that we still have America, because it is a free country, and we do have a lot of great rights. Thank you. Yeah. Mountain Dew.